We're going to start off with James Ontra. That was our last guest. And then our first guest is going to be James Ontra of Shufflrr, shufflrr.com. And James is going to talk with us about CEOs. Should they consider a 10% time bonus for their sales force? How does presentation management help streamline international communications for businesses? And what kind of businesses would benefit from presentation management? So without further ado, let's bring on James Ontara. James, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I'm glad you're here. You are the responsible person for the vision, the strategy, and the technical development of Shufflrr. Uh, you've got 30 years of entrepreneurial experience and 20 years of experience on both the sales side and the developmental side of presentation management software. I really appreciate what you do. It's from soup to nuts, and you get your fingers dirty when it comes to building the company. So, give a little more color to your background and who you are in your management of this company, and then let's start diving into the content we're going to talk about today.
All right, well, great. Thank you for everything. I've been an entrepreneur since the very beginning after school, but in the early 90s was working with CD-ROM technology and touchscreen technology, which was very much slideshows and things of that nature. As the web grew up, a lot of that stuff got discounted along the way because everything went online to the web, and I, in my business, kept on doing high-end presentations supporting CES keynote addresses and the media companies selling their advertising and exhibits in Epcot Center and stuff. And it's very high-end consultancy, and it works specialty that way. But as technology evolved and images and video became commonplace for everything and everywhere, working with my clients, I realized that I didn't just realize they actually said what they needed, but we a way to properly repurpose your slides and marketing content so that people out in the field can always be up to date, on time, singing off the same sheet of music. And and they want to ensure integrity and consistency and compliance. And Shufflrr is the result of all those years. And basically, it's about consistent brand, consistent message, turning the communication of presentations into strategy for your enterprise. Presentations aren't one and done anymore. They're a strategy that can work for your entire global sales force.
I was just talking to my director of IT today about this same message. You've got to have some kind of a mantra that you build the story around before you can start building anything else that actually gives consistency and structure and scalability to your entire message. Am I
That is
on
correct.
point with you? Okay, yes.
Well, totally, everything needs to build into um, what it says. Like when you set up a company and you put it in, like you just said, you have to have a mission, a clear mission, and that is that presentation management strategy should be in every company. Companies should all work with presentation. But then you have to have a strategy to get there, and the strategy for Shufflrr is to identify the problem, to properly speak about it, and let people know that every presentation isn't a one and done. You can have a strategy that ensures everyone sings off the same sheet of music. And when CEOs realize that one great slide gets repurposed 100 by times, maybe you put a little investment to make the animation and the message better, cleaner, faster, so that everyone's speaking better about your company.
You know, you give
Now,
me a
with that,
let
go
me
ahead.
jump in there. You give me a great idea for ongoing case studies because you run across people that aren't doing it wrong, and then people that are doing it right from the outset, and then the people can learn from that, being able to talk to you about what went wrong, how did you straighten it out, and how's the right way to get started in the first place. Am I on page with you?
Yes, that is totally the case. It's a little bit of a different thought pattern for presentations because if you think about a presentation and how it goes on, and this is where the real time suck comes in, if I'll pardon my word there, but when you have a presentation, you go, oh, and you get the burning sensation in your gut, and then you say, okay, next Thursday I got a half hour. I'm going to get 20 slides. And you go open your marketing presentation. You go, no. You open another one. You go, oh, no. You open a third, and you go, okay, I'll start with that. And then you go back to the first, and you copy 2 slides. You paste it in, and you think of the CEO did a presentation with a purple gorilla on it, and you're like, that would be great. And you go and ask for it, and you copy it, and you bring it together. And you go get a third one, you copy some pastes, and you save it. 90 minutes to 2 hours have gone by, and you're just at your starting place, and it's not consistent brand. The logos are in different places. You've got different fonts. One might have widescreen while it is. When you think, and now you're just getting ready to go to your meeting, and you've got like a change that happens right before it, and you rush the change in, and you go and you land at the Marriott, and you give your big presentation from the podium, and everyone goes, yay! And then you go to lunch. And then the next day you start all over again. They say, oh, well, where was that slide with the purple gorilla? And you're like, oh, it was on the podium at the Marriott. You're starting from scratch again. With presentation management, you think about your slides as a library of slides, that your company might have 250 or 300 slides that say who you are, what you do, your case studies, the history of the company, executive bios, processes, your European office, so that when a salesperson or someone on the front line says, I'm going to talk to this client, they can just go and pick and choose from this library. As fast as putting items in your shopping cart at Amazon, you can line up 10, 15, 55 slides that are up to date, compliant, with animation, with video, all those things. Hit save, and you're ready to go. You can present online. You can present out in the field. You can download it and use it. But ultimately, all these slides were built by marketing, who ensured that it was right and up to date and all those things that go into it. So, to bring back to the business model that we've got, the corporate objective is to be, for Shufflrr, to help companies with presentation management knowledge, whether they're doing it on their own network or otherwise, or you choose Shufflrr, and we can help alleviate the pain by uploading your files and getting your slide library and video and everything working and going. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Now that we know what your business does, how it works, how you can help other businesses, it's obvious. Anybody that's seeking investment capital or new clients needs a service. What are you doing with your business? Are you going to stay private? Are you looking for capital formation? Taking on partners to grow this into a new, or are you just, all I want is clients and revenue growth?
Well, we've been working clients' revenue growth because sending an invoice is the best form of funding you'll ever find anywhere.
Hello.
I'm sorry?
I said hello.
You never have to pay it back unless you don't do the work properly. It also reinforces what you're doing. Yes, we're wide open to funding if the right partner, right place comes in. We've been growing steadily, and we're not as squeezed as we need be, but we're in good shape. We're running a recurring annuity SaaS model business, and we've got over 100 clients with some of the biggest names or companies out there, and many big companies are implementing presentation management strategies because the C-suite is beginning to ask, do we have a strategy here, or is everyone just running around saying whatever they want?
Exactly.
And here's a good analogy. Let me give you an analogy. 50, 70 years ago, whatever it was, David Ogilvy from Ogilvy Mather came out and convinced corporate America that you should give me all your advertising money, and I will go in and give strategies for TV and radio and print and billboards, and you'll get a consistent brand and consistent message. And then he picked, let's say, TV, and said, okay, with TV, we're going to get a great director and a Hollywood actress, and we're going to go to an exotic location and film it and put the ad on the Super Bowl, and money's going to flow in. Well, that's one strategy for one genre of corporate communications. Now, if you think about that, presentations, there is no strategy around it. There is no way to keep a consistent brand and message. You have no way of knowing that your salesperson talking to your client is in New York is saying something the same thing as the guy in L.A. or the guy in Hong Kong. We just don't know.
James,
presentation. I'm sorry.
I got to jump in here. We're out of time on this break, but I want to get this message clear to you. I want you to come back.
How much time we had?
That's all right. I know you get passionate, and it just goes away. I want to have your clients on our show because after you've polished them up, that makes for a great interview for me too. Could you talk to my technical director, fish and see if we can get that going, because and you need to come back on the show so we can go drill down in this, because you're a great help.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That's about it? I wish I knew we were ending right now, but that's cool.
Well, it's not the last. It's just the first.
Very good. It's a pleasure meeting you.
You too, James. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Michael.
All right, bye. James Ontra, CEO, Shufflrr. We're going to go to a commercial break, come back with the Private Equity Spotlight, and then we'll be right back with you after this message.